I think I am recording. Okay, so let me start. Just do a quick introduction of myself and our TA firm. My name is Jay Dong. I'm the Director of Community and Social Innovation at BCT Partners, and BCT Partners has been a long-term TA provider, technical assistance provider for HUD for over 20 years now. For this specific engagement, HUD has tasked us to bring a spotlight, to bring attention to how public housing authorities across the country are assisting families who meet the target preference criteria in the 2019 Mainstream Voucher program, NOFA. So when we talk about the NOFA target audience, we're talking about those who are homeless, formerly homeless, or now a participant in the rapid housing, rehousing, or permanent supportive housing program, or transitioning out of an institutional setting or at risk of institutionalization. So we want to get a deeper understanding of the experience and perspective from the program beneficiaries, as well as get an insight on how PHAs have been, administrating this voucher program and generating success. So we have a list of questions prepared for you all. And, I just encourage everybody to be honest and candid in sharing your information. We'll do all that we can to safeguard the information and protect your confidentiality. If you, accidentally disclose anything that you don't want to make public, we can edit those things out later at a later time. So just let us know what you're comfortable with. And then, like I said before, the data that we capture here, the information we capture here, we're going to produce a spotlight document, as well as the video recording. They're all going to be hosted on the HUD Exchange website. So more TA firms and other public stakeholders or just private citizens can access this content via HUD's website. And this whole interview.
Does the homeless have access to this?
Yeah, anybody who has internet access can see this video. So we'll make sure once this link is available, we'll make sure to send it back out to you all so you can share that with folks that you come in contact with. Okay.
Yeah.
And this whole interview is going to take no more than 60 minutes. We're going to interview Darryl first, so that you can drop off, and then we'll talk to Dee and Ann about the administrative side of things. And then I'll pause here. Yeah, I'll pause here to let you all give a brief description or introduction of actually, we'll let Angela introduce herself, and then we'll pause here to see if you all have any questions, and then you all can do a brief introduction before we jump into the interview questions. Okay, Ange?
Okay.
Yes, hi there. I'm Angela Robinson Spencer. I'm an affordable housing compliance consultant actually right now. I've been operating my firm for about 8 years. Prior to that, I had over 30 years of experience in affordable housing on all multiple levels, from just starting out as a regular property manager all the way up to being a director of property management with Chinatown CDC in San Francisco, vice president with Mercy Housing, AF Evans, various other companies. So it's been a very enjoyable field that gave me a great deal of breadth and depth in terms of affordable housing. So it's a real pleasure to be here with you today and to be working with BCT Partners as an assistant and consultant.
Thank you, Angela. How about we go to Dee and Ann?
Hi, my name is Dee Pouliot. I go by Dee, but I put Deanne there because I was on video. Deanne Pouliot, and I am the division director, managing director at New Hampshire Housing. I have been here just a little over 35 years. I've had several jobs here at New Hampshire Housing. I've been in this division director role for over 20 years, and we're excited to be invited to participate in this. We worked really hard when we received and worked on the application to receive these vouchers under the Mainstream program. And in our first year, we actually almost overleased. We were a little bit too aggressive, and HUD, helped us out in the second round. And so we're excited, that this program is being spotlighted by HUD, and look forward to participating in it.
Thank you. Let's go to Ann.
Hi, my name's Ann Lemire. I'm a supervisor here
at New Hampshire Housing, and I've been with New Hampshire Housing for a little over 20 years. My team works directly with the clients. So we get more hands-on and get a chance to help them when they're doing their housing search. We do the day-to-day work with the clients once they're on the program. So we work more directly with the clients themselves.
Okay, last but not least, let's go to Darryl.
Yes, my name is Darryl Panari. I was part of Terrell House. I went to a sober house, and that's how I was able to get my housing. And my landlord here actually owns the building that I was in, the sober house, and upstairs became available, and he was all new to the housing as well, and he actually was able to take me in under the housing program, which was great.
Very good, very good. I think by just sharing a little bit about that, you just jumped right into our questions. So I'd like to ask you, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself. Anything you want to share about yourself personally.
Okay. I've been homeless several times. I have not been. I have not gotten very many breaks in my life. I grew up poor. Always moving around, in and out of school systems. Then when I hit my adult life, that was no better. I was in and out of jail due to my alcoholism and my drug addiction. My last stunt I did in jail was almost 4 years ago, and then I was able to come out of jail, and I fell into drugs real heavily, crystal meth, and then I went from doing crystal meth for quite some time to I went to rehab in Naples, Florida, at a place called the Willows, and I did 30 days down there, and I came home to Manchester, stayed with my daughter for 4 days, wound up in the Terrell house. And it was the best thing I ever did. I've been sober now for 3 years off the alcohol and 10 months off of the crystal meth now.
That's amazing accomplishment. Thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable, and sharing that personal detail with us. May I just ask, how did you learn about the Mainstream Voucher program?
To tell you the truth, I don't even remember signing up for it. I must have. I had a caseworker over there at the Terrell house, and her name was Amanda, and she must have. We must have signed me up for it when I first hit the Terrell house, and I don't even remember it, to tell you the truth, Jay.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, can you talk about the application process a little bit, if you remember? How long was the process from when you complete the application, or did your worker complete the application from that time?
I think my worker did it on her own, because I had so much paperwork going on at the time. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing.
Okay. So
this is the first time I've had housing. This is the first time I've got, like I said in the beginning, I didn't catch too many breaks in my 49 years being around here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm in a great area of town. I wouldn't leave this area for nothing. I don't even have to lock my doors around here. You know what I mean?
That's excellent. So from the time that you were, how long were you at Terrell House before you move into your new apartment?
I was at Terrell House for 3 months, and then I found the sober house last summer. Okay. So I stayed downstairs in the sober house for about 8 months. I've only been in my new place now for about 2 months.
Okay. So this is a recent development.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So besides the Terrell House and the sober house you described, what are the other resources or agencies that supported you throughout this whole process before you got your apartment?
Manchester Mental Health has supported me.
Okay.
My daughter supported me. My wife have supported me through all this mess.
Okay.
You know, because like when I was downstairs and I was trying to get into this place, it was like a nail biter. You know, it was like, oh, because the place where I'm at right now was empty for about 3 months. And when I started the paperwork, you know, my landlord was getting a little nervous because, like I said, he's never dealt with housing either. And but once it all came together, I mean, it was great. You know, this place it's a huge 1-bedroom. I got a gigantic porch, another little porch off to the side. I got a fenced-in backyard. I got a spare room. I got a full-sized attic upstairs. I got parking for my car. I mean, I couldn't ask for better for this, you know.
That's great.
And I'm not paying that much. And I'm only paying $4.96 a month here because of housing.
That's great. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. And you did say the New Hampshire mental health services provided you with some resources. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, I was tied up with mental health services as soon as I landed in Manchester because I transferred from another mental health facility.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of the expression, Jay. I have dual diagnosis. You know what that is?
No, I'm not aware.
I have mental health issues as well as addiction issues.
Okay.
So mental health is dealing with both of those.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they gave me a place. Actually, it's just opened up again. It's called the Hope for Recovery from New Hampshire up in Manchester here.
Mm-hmm.
The Hope has been very supportive of me as well. The resources that I've actually only been down to the center once because of the COVID, but they just kept pushing me, you know what I mean, to go forward and keep on the right track. I have 2 caseworkers right now, and it's great, you know.
Okay.
I mean, if it wasn't for Manchester Mental Health and the Terrell House, I wouldn't be sitting here where I am today.
What happened? I don't know.
Well, we're glad they were very supportive of you. Now, did you receive any assistance in finding this particular apartment unit that meets your needs?
I don't know why he's on the phone.
Well, I had a caseworker from the state trying to help me find apartments. But this place here, I basically did it on my own.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tell us about that. Tell us about that a little bit.
I approached my landlord and I said, "Hey, you got upstairs available. I have my housing voucher. What do you think?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, "Let's try it out." He goes, "I'll try it. I don't care." So we filled out all the paperwork, sent it in, and then I got the inspector up here. The inspector came and passed inspection, and a couple of weeks later, I moved. I was able to get in here.
That's great.
Because of housing.
So that was just a serendipitous occurrence.
Yes.
Yeah, we love stories like that. I think let's we can advance into the next area of these questions here. And you did talk about the length of time that you were in your previous living condition. And you also did touch about the enjoyment of your current living condition. Now, let's talk about the impact of having stable housing. How has your current living condition impacted other areas of your life? And we're talking about, whether that's employment, education, relationship with others, or community involvement, or personal interests.
I've been working for the last 4 months now. I work at McDonald's as a cook.
Okay.
This is I know how Manchester is. this is my third time living in Manchester, and the first 2 times I was homeless up here, and it was not fun at all.
Okay.
I don't, you know, I don't recommend being homeless to anybody. I've been seeing what the cops are doing lately about shutting down homeless camps and stuff like that. There's one up by my work they're trying to shut down. There's another one over by Firestone they shut down over the weekend or something. And it's, you know, it's pretty scary out there when you're homeless and you don't know, you don't have any resources, or you know, this is my safe place. That's what I call it, my safe haven. I'm able to go to work, cook my own food, stay sober, you know, and, you know, if I didn't have the Terrell house and the housing backing me up to help me with this stuff, I wouldn't be where I am today.
In addition to the agencies and resources you just listed, you've already listed, are there any other source of support that you're getting that's new to you since you got the apartment?
No, I got mental health is still involved. I have 2 caseworkers. One comes down every week just to see how I'm doing. And she's working on other stuff with me, trying to get my Medicaid going and my food stamps going. And another lady that comes from the mental health services is actually trying to help me find another job.
Okay.
Yeah. And like, I'm grateful for all this stuff. And I'm glad that something finally worked in my favor. Yeah. You know, after all, you know, I did a little bit of footwork. I had to, you know, I struggled a little bit in the beginning, and I you know, but I kept going, and I stayed sober, and I don't know, I just kept plugging away at this stuff, and my like I said, my voucher fell through, and my landlord's happy, I'm happy, and you know, I'm going to stay here as long as I can.
We'd love to hear that. We'd love to hear that. Have you been talking about this voucher to others that you come in contact with and sharing with them about your personal success?
Some of my coworkers, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know a couple of my coworkers were interested in it, and I said, well, you know, I guess you get on mental health or housing and see if you can't get on the list. That's how you do it.
Right. Okay.
Because because my understanding of this housing was that it was because I went to treatment in Terrell House. That's why I got my voucher. Right.
So you fall right into the target population that the you know, the federal housing funding you know, is dedicated towards. So I mean, we're humbled and honored to hear about your story. Are there anything else that you want to share besides what we covered already? I mean,
you know, I know Manchester, and I'm on the west side. I live right down the street from my daughter. And it's great. I mean, you know, I'm off the main highway, but I mean, the area is pretty quiet. It's clean. And like I said, I don't even have to lock my doors here. That's all. You know, this is basically what elderly people live around me, so I don't worry about nobody around me here.
Okay.
You know.
Yep. I just have one last question. How often do you interface or interact with folks at the housing authority, like Ann or her colleagues?
I just started speaking to Ann, actually.
Okay.
I have a caseworker, but I think I'm getting a new one. Because I'm trying to add my fiance to my lease here.
Okay.
And they said it was going to take some time for her criminal background check, I guess.
Well, we love to hear that because of your stability in housing. You are now adding to your household,
Yeah.
growing that nucleus. So that's a great story. I'll pause here to see if my colleague Angela has any questions or want to add anything else before we let you go.
Okay.
No, I just appreciate the story that he offered, and it is just really encouraging and so promising. And it was just a couple things there that I was so glad you added about your fiance, because that's just like the icing on top of the cake, if you ask me. That's so great that you're able to enjoy that and have this opportunity. And I was a little not clear about exactly when your voucher kicked in, but you clarified that towards the end. So I just appreciate your time and telling us your story. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Darryl, I wish you could see the smiles that are on our face right now from your story sharing. It's certainly been the highlight of my day today. So thank you again. You know, like I said before, once we make this you know, publicly accessible, we will send out the information to you so that you can share with others.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Darryl.
Sounds really good. Thanks, Jay. Thank you,
All right.
Jay.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Yep.
Thanks, Darryl.
Bye, Ian.
Hi, Darryl. Thanks.
Hi. You're welcome, hon. I hope I did good for you.
You did just great. You did great. Thank you.
All right. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, huh?
You too.
You too.
Okay,
Take
you
care.
too,
All right,
Darryl.
Darryl.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
That was great.
That was excellent. That was excellent. So I think Darryl kind of set the bar kind of high for us, huh?
He did really well.
Yes.
He did a nice job.
That was great.
We didn't even know a lot of that with you know, Hope for Recovery. There's some things in Manchester. Obviously, he's in Manchester, so there's a couple things. He did. I don't know if you need. I looked up his file while we were talking. He applied in May of 2020.
Okay. Okay.
And then
It's almost a year ago.
yeah, his voucher was issued in October, and then he leased up just in January when he went on the program. So.
So yeah, so there is a sort of a timeline in terms of when the application goes in, and then the voucher gets issued, and then the you know, identifying the possible unit.
Yeah, finding a place.
Yeah.
Right.